race season is a journey that provides no guarantees. With challenges come growth and lessons learned that build character. The last race at VIR saw the Mantella Autosport's MBRP team still down one car. After a successful qualifying session, they pushed hard into the race, with expectations high for a podium finish. Bad luck struck once again, with the 80 car being pushed off the track, leaving them to play catch-up for the remainder of the race. With 2 races left in the season, the team moves forward with excitement surrounding the return of the number 8 car. Race number 9 brings the series to Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. A 3.5-mile track with a number of technical features designed to challenge the world's best drivers.
It's good to be back. You know, I miss the competition. I love the team. With Martin and Kyle just running, couldn't have the whole team here. And we made a commitment to everybody to run for the year. I made my point to IMSA, it didn't change anything, and that's just professional racing, you know, it's not always fair.
You know, it's great to be back. Obviously the team's fantastic, so, you know, to get back out in the car and feel it out, feel the differences, and get back up to speed is, it's always a challenge, but, you know, it's what we do. You just got to get in and do it.
You know, running the last 2 races with just Kyle and I in the MBRP and 80 car, it's been great, but no doubt we're looking forward to COTA here, having a full team, all 4 drivers, all engineers, under one tent, back at it just like we started.
Heading into this weekend, you know, our expectations are, I guess you could say, a bit of an unknown. I think we know that we put a good, reliable car on the racetrack. We've proven that we're competitive. As a whole, if you look at the entire grid, I think right now the Nissan and the Porsche have a little more pace than the Camaro. So, you know, to win, to be in the top 3 is a little challenging. Our goal this weekend is to run in the top 5, and that'll be a successful weekend for us.
We haven't hit a podium yet this year. Teams worked so hard. At VIR, we saw really strange things happen. We saw people run out of gas. We saw competitors come into the pits when they shouldn't have, and it really changed up the order. So anything's possible, and hopefully one of the Mantella Autosport MBRP Camaros will be there to get on the podium.
Very fortunate this year. Kyle and myself and the race team have been really focusing on getting qualifying done right off the bat, like lap 1, 2, maybe 3. Andrew, our race engineer, and I had discussed it. We wouldn't run any more than 3 laps. I really wanted to get it done in 1, possibly 2. As it turned out, my fastest lap was done in lap 1. I think I found 7/10 over my previous fastest lap in practice. Just before they shut down qualifying, one of the Multimatic Mustangs ran through and had beat my time, taking P8 for himself and bumping me to P9.
Considering not driving for 2 races, I think I did pretty well. The first lap was kind of a reconnaissance lap. I hadn't really got a lot of time on stickers. Kind of went out with Martin, you know, and gave him some room. Unfortunately, on my second lap, I was a little early turning in to 1 and clipped the pylon on the top of 1 and ruined the lap. It pushed me off to the side, and I wasn't going to get a great time, so I parked the car.
So generally speaking, happy with a P9 qualifying position, happy with the car setup. I think we're sitting in a good position for the race.
We're we're the underdog here. There's no doubt about it. We're down on top speed. We're the heaviest car in the field with the smallest tires. I really don't think the Camaro would be that competitive here, but anything can happen.
Knowing there's 2 races left, I want to find something extra. I want to dig down deep and just bring my best 2 races to the track. I was on the inside heading up into turn 1, and that worked out okay. Unfortunately, the car got bound up in some way, and I could not get the car from 2nd gear up into 3rd gear, and I probably lost, I'm going to say, over a second just trying to get that car into 3rd gear. It wasn't the start I wanted because I knew I was better than that, and I knew the car was better than that. I was faster than the Mustang that had gotten in front of me. I had to work hard to get around him. I spent the last 20 minutes of my lap chasing down a certain Porsche. I just didn't have a car left to reel that Porsche in, so it was a matter of keeping the car as fast as we could, keeping it on the track, to lose as little or to not lose time to the leaders.
After about 5 laps, I really settled in and started to learn the track a little more. You know, in the race scenario, everybody's running 10-10s, you know, and the adrenaline's flowing. I really had a good time chasing the Aston Martin down and also chasing one of the older Mustangs around. They were struggling, but they were definitely faster in the straightaway. So I really had to buckle down and make sure that I was really smooth in the slow speed part of the track so that I could catch them, you know, before the straights and then hopefully capitalize on a mistake. Had some contact on the last lap with one of the older Mustangs. Like I said, everybody was slip sliding out there, and unfortunately we made a little bit of contact, and then for whatever reason his car stalled, and I came in, which really provided a great opportunity for Mark and Kyle, because it brought out a yellow right exactly when they needed it.
I believe we were position 10 when we did our driver change. We were 40 seconds back from the race leader at that time, but that caution allowed us to just regroup, and we were right in the race. We worked our way up to 4th, had a great restart, took 2 spots there. We were running along 4th, having a lot of really good racing with the BMW, with the Mustangs. The BMW did get into the back of us and spun us out, which knocked us back, I think, to 10th or 11th. You know, I had to keep my head down, knowing we're not going to expect a yellow. More than likely it's going to stay green. The only chance we had to catch up was just to push hard. I had a good battle for 5th position with one of the Multimatic Mustangs. We did have a little more pace, a little more speed, but it was a challenge to get around them, that's for sure. And when I finally did, you know, we had our sights set on the Nissan up the road.
Unfortunately, we had an overheating issue which seemed to develop at some point, you know, once Anthony got out. I gotta say, it was a frustrating one for me. You know, it's tough when you watch a lot of your competition kind of drive away. But we had a hot car. I mean, it was hot, and we know that when the engine's overheating, we don't get peak power, and we needed every ounce of the power we could. As a driver, you hate to go backwards. You hate to not be in the fold and challenge.
We reeled in the Nissan to maybe 6 to 8 car lengths in front of us, you know, as we crossed the checkered flag. Unfortunately, I did lose 1 spot to the Aston, but you know, to finish 6th, I think we need to be pleased with that. It was a tough race.
It was a tough weekend, obviously, for us overall, and not the way we wanted to end it. But it's great to be back in the car, and looking forward to Road Atlanta, which is one of my favorite tracks.
After a season full of ups and downs, the last race will bring with it a range of mixed emotions.
Yeah, so looking ahead, 1 race to go. You know, it is a bit of a bummer. We'd like the race season to just be ongoing, right? But it is what it is.
I know Kyle and I set out at the beginning of the season, we wanted to end up with a P5 position in a Pro-Am race partnering here, in basically a Pro-Pro setting.
You know, I think if we can finish within the top 5, that's a very respectable debut season for Mantella Autosport, for Martin Barkey and myself.
I'm really excited to go to Road Atlanta. You know, Mark and I might not get the opportunity to race together for a long time, you know, until something changes. You know, we'll fix the car. The car will be 100%. I think we really have something for our competition there, and I expect great things there.
With the final race on the doorstep, the team looks ahead to Road Atlanta in hopes of a victory, but knows, regardless, there's many changes in store for the future.